Sup? Though. Right. Who makes a road like that? You an ass. If we make a road like that.
One night a few years ago, I learned an important lesson about the company I keep. I thought my friends were good people, but it turns out some of them were hiding dark secrets.
Yeah. 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 That's realistic. You know? You don't really know who you working with. You really don't know like everyone you work with. You know? You don't know them like the back of your hand. You may know like one or two, maybe three people that you're close with. But you don't know everybody that you are, especially like one of them like companies that have like a hella employees, like a warehouse job, like an Amazon, or like a FedEx, or like a, you know what I mean? You just don't.
We've been driving for hours, but none of us were tired. The music was loud, but we didn't care. Ricky was the one driving.
Ricky!
He was pretty careless, but I guess I trusted him.
Ricky is gonna get you clucked up, D. What?
His cousin Steve was along for the trip. We'd all known each other for years, but this was the first time we'd met his cousin. He was shy, kind of a stereotypical awkward kid. The guys had been giving him a hard time. He was an easy target, I guess. And the hazing was the initiation to be one of the guys. I was next to him on the back seat. I didn't really join in, felt kind of bad for the kid. It was 5 hours into the drive through a remote woodland road. It was pitch black. Must have been past midnight. Steve kept asking me something, but we couldn't hear him through the music. I banged on Ricky's seat to get his attention. He turned the music down. "What's up, man?" Steve was saying something, I said. I looked to Steve. It was like he needed encouragement to speak up. "I really need to go, guys." "Go?" Ricky teased.
I really need to go, guys.
"To the toilet." "Okay, let me just pull up." "No, wait, isn't there a gas station coming up?" "Nope, not for miles. You'll have to go in the woods."
Not me. Nah, you good. I'ma hold it.
Well, Steve didn't like the idea, but what else could he do? We were in the middle of nowhere. Ricky pulled over. "Guys, I don't want to..." "Go on, hurry. I want to get there before morning." Ricky interrupted.
Alright, bet. Okay, so really looks like I don't have an option, you know. So I'm gonna go. But I need each and every one of y'all to surround me. Back facing me so I can pee. Watch out for your ankles. You know, it's flat. It splatters and shit. So, just saying. Cause you got me all the way clocked up. If you think I'm about to go in some woods in the middle of nowhere, late at night, after midnight, by myself. Come on.
Steve looked hesitant, but had no choice. He slowly got out of the car. I felt the cold from the outside rush in as he opened the door. He slowly walked into the woods, using the torchlight on his phone as a guide. He was going quite far in. He was shy, I guess. A few minutes went by.
Shy my ass. Come on. You deep as hell. You can just go right on the edge of the forest. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like where the road meets. Like where the road, like you got the road right here and you got the forest. You can just go right where the road and the forest meet. You don't have to go deep into the shits.
The guys were chatting about Steve while he was gone, making fun of him. I didn't join in. After 10 minutes went by, I started to worry. I couldn't see his light very clearly. "Do you think he's all right? He should have been back by now." "I'm sure he just got stage fright," Ricky laughed. "Go check on him if you're so concerned." I got out of the car to go look for him. I followed the light in the distance. Why did he go so far into the woods? The music from the car radio faded as I got deep into the darkness of the woodland. "Steve?" I called out. No answer. I approached the light, but Steve wasn't there. His phone was on the ground. What happened? "Steve?" I shouted. Just then I heard a sound. The snapping of a branch. Someone was out here. I'm not sure why, but my gut instinct told me it wasn't Steve.
No
I
shit.
grabbed his phone and used it to look around. I couldn't make out much. The light wasn't very strong. I scanned the woodland slowly. My heart was racing. Just then I saw something move. Maybe it was Steve. I stepped a little closer to see. Behind a tree, someone was standing there, completely still, watching me. Their face was hidden. I couldn't make them out. Wait, that wasn't their face. That was a mask, a white plastic mask. That's when I saw the knife in their hand, blood dripping from the handle. I moved as quickly as I could to get back to the car. As soon as I spun around, I tripped on a tree stump. I looked behind me. No one was there. I got up and made it back to the clearing. I was shocked at what I found. The radio was turned off, but the car was still running. It was empty. No one was here. I opened the driver's side door. There was blood on the seat.
Damn.
What the hell happened? I heard a rustling in the woods behind me and jumped into the driver's seat, locking the door. That's when I saw him. He was standing at the edge of the tree line. He lifted up his mask. "Steve?" I didn't leave anything to chance. I put my foot on the gas and drove away. I never told anyone about that night. Until now.
My back itches and I'm trying to scratch it.
My wife was always the more sociable one. She was the kind of person to smile at strangers in the street.
What the
and meet
hell?
new neighbors the day they moved in. I always loved that about her.
Man,
I
wow.
never
Wow. Yo, wow. She's a cluck ass and you about to be a cluck ass. Jesus.
expected that her kind nature would lead to so much trouble.
Yeah.
It was the middle of a hot summer night. We were driving back from a long weekend at the in-laws. It was fair to say we both were exhausted. From the all-night drive to the scorching night heat, we decided to stop off at the first gas station we could find. 2 hours went by before we discovered one. We really were in the middle of nowhere. The gas station was empty. We pulled up to the first pump. I had to take a leak, so I let Jane fill up the car. The restroom was gross. I don't think it had ever been cleaned. I washed up and went back to find my wife chatting with a couple. They were oddly presentable. The man was wearing a turtleneck sweater and smart trousers. The woman, a flower dress straight from the 60s. "Oh, this is my husband, Mark," my wife exclaimed as I went to get my wallet out of the car. I didn't really feel like socializing after such a long drive, but I couldn't exactly ignore them. They both looked uncomfortable as soon as I turned up. I didn't think much of it and gave them a smile. I gave my wife a look to say I'll be quick paying. I felt bad, but there's no way I was going to keep up a conversation with strangers in this heat. I left to pay for the gas. From the counter, I could see my wife still chatting with that couple. What could they possibly be talking about? She looked over at me. I knew I should hurry up. "Hi, sir. How you doing tonight?" The clerk was overly nice. I didn't have the energy tonight to make small talk. "Fine," I said. "That'll be $14.80, sir," the clerk told me as he bagged my items. "You be safe tonight. There's a crazy person on the loose." He had my attention now. "Sorry?" "Yep. Apparently there's a guy on the loose. He was an escaped patient from some kind of mental hospital."
Oh, okay.
"You mean like a psychiatric ward?" I asked. "Yeah, apparently they've been snatching people all over the county. Lots of missing persons." I handed him the cash, eager to get out. I turned to leave. "Actually, I did hear some say it's not just one guy, it's a couple, a man and a woman," he said. Now I was worried. I grabbed my stuff and ran back up to the car. There was no one there. The couple was gone. Our car was the only one outside. "Jane," I shouted. I checked the car. Empty. It was deathly quiet. like no one had been there at all. Jane! I screamed as loud as I could.
Jane!
The voice came from behind me. I was just in the restroom. What's up? I thought you'd been... Where'd the couple go? They just left a few minutes ago. They were so strange. Kept asking me if I wanted to ride with them. I got a little freaked out. Oh God. Come on, let's get out of here, I said. We both got in the car and drove away. That's the last time I leave my wife alone in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you should have. You should have. She's a cluck ass. She's a clucky.
About a year ago, I worked as an ice road trucker, hauling deliveries across the state. It was a tough job, but I was comfortable. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. But one night changed all that. My eyes were so heavy. I'd been driving all night. This is the life of a truck driver, lived at night. I've been doing this so long now, I didn't even care what I was hauling. I didn't check this time. It was just past 3 a.m. That's when I heard a strange noise in the back. It was a loud thud, but I ignored it. Something must have fallen. The boss told me everything was strapped down. Come to think of it, he didn't really want me to check it myself.
The boss is in cahoots. The boss is in cahoots. The boss is in cahoots.
I pulled over. It was degrees below freezing out here, so I had to wear about 5 layers. I got out of the truck and went to the back. I went to unlock the doors to the container when I noticed they were already open. I put
my back. Hold on, I gotta get something to scratch my back. Hold on. I'm gonna wash it. Don't worry.
My hand on the door to have a look when I heard a noise behind me. Before I had time to turn around, something hard hit me over the head. I caught a glimpse of a person, completely naked, holding a red wrench.
I felt something go down my back. Hold on. You good? Am I good? I got run it back. I'm sorry.
So I had to wear about 5 layers. I got out of the truck and went to the back. I went to unlock the doors to the container when I noticed they were already open. I put my hand on the door to have a look when I heard a noise behind me. Before I had time to turn around, something hard hit me over the head. I caught a glimpse of a person, completely naked, holding a red wrench. I felt the warm blood cooling on the snow when I woke up. I was numb with frostbite. How long had it been? Minutes? Hours? My coat was gone. The guy must have stolen it. I struggled to stand up. My truck was nowhere to be seen. I was in the middle of a deserted road. A wind picked up, carrying a frosty bite with it. I started walking along the road with no plan other than to find some help. I walked about a mile before I found it. Through the thicky ice fog, I saw the red lights of my truck submerged in a snow-filled ditch. There was no way I could drive it now. But maybe my phone was still in the glove box. I could call for help. I jumped down into the ditch, my legs barely carrying me now. I was numb from frostbite. The passenger door was open. The front windshield cracked, but no one was there. I looked in the glove box. My phone wasn't there, but I grabbed the last of the flares. Under the driver's seat, I saw the wrench with my dried blood still on the end. I also decided to take it in case I needed to defend myself, and went to look in the back. Strangely enough, the back doors were locked now. I pulled up the large bolt keeping it locked and pried open the frozen doors. The truck was tilted slightly in the ditch, so I had to step in at an angle. It was dark. I struck the flare to light it. A red flash and then a steady glow illuminating the carriage. What I saw will stay with me forever, haunting me. I couldn't count the bodies. I tried, but they were all twisted and buried under each other. I couldn't tell where one body ended and another began. I did notice they were all women. They had been beaten by the looks of it, with something blunt. My flare was dying out. These ones never lasted long. I stepped out, still struggling to walk. I instantly threw up in the snow. My head was so numb, I could barely hear the police as they shouted at me to drop the wrench. I was still on my knees in the snow, facing away from them. I couldn't feel a thing. I saw the red and blue sirens flashing against the snow in front of me. I let them take me in. I spent a night in an interrogation room being questioned by the police. I didn't know what to say. Eventually, they figured out it wasn't me and let me go. I wish I could have remembered more. It's been almost a year, and I never did find out what really happened.
Your boss set you up. Your boss set you up. I just want to let you know that. Why do I don't know if what's the name? I forgot his name. I feel like he was in cahoots. The guy that went to go use the bathroom. I don't know. Stop talking to strangers, please. Just stop talking to strangers. That's all you gotta do. Is just stop talking to strangers. Stop. That's all you gotta do. Stop talking to strangers. Excuse me. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. Keep it classy. And I love you. Stay happy, my family.